We're launching the iGaming SEO Boardroom, a consulting group and community built by two of the leading names in the space, and over a decade of experience working with some of the biggest brands in the industry. I'm Sean, founder of GameChanger. We've been leaders in the SEO space for over 7 years. And I'm joined by Ivana Flynn, a prominent SEO expert known for sharing SEO insights with over 10 years experience ranking sites in iGaming SEO. If you know this space, you know how fast things move. Black hat tactics, negative attacks, Reddit updates, AI, it changes constantly and most teams are always a step behind. That's exactly why we are launching the Boardroom. Weekly insights, training, updates, and access to us. So you and your team always have a game plan before things happen and not after. We've already sold out our founding members and have now just opened the waitlist for early access. Click the link in the description to join the Boardroom. We'll see you inside.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel where we talk everything and anything SEO, and today I'm bringing you a fantastic guest, Milica. Milica is one of the best SEOs that comes to links, PR, and understanding how to leverage those for your rankings. Milica, welcome. Thank you very much for accepting my invitation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Super kind introduction. And always, I'm super happy to join you. I listen to many of your podcasts and stuff on your YouTube channel. I think it's super important and useful for our community. So I'm super happy to be here and give back a bit.
Thank you. I'm very happy you're going to share. And your topic is SERPs are dominating by spam. So we're going to be talking about all the spammy things there, including links, which is your main understanding, but of course, you know, everything else. But yeah, it's variable out there. You can have any sort, mainly from affiliate keywords, and 9 out of 10 results are either canonical abuse, parasite SEO, drug domain, or some other beautiful black hat method. Everything is ranking, but not the good SEO. What do you think of this? What's happening?
Yeah, it is. Recently, I've been in a conference with Sean from Sean Bianco, and we talked about AI in SEO. And one thing that it was very short, it was very fun, so it was shorter than I expected. It was just 45 minutes, but it really flew by. And he's full of data, full of good points. And we were talking about influence of AI on SEO and iGaming SEO in particular. And one thing that he highlighted multiple times is that AI is not such a threat that everybody is perceiving it to be. And I fully agree on him. But what I didn't have time to say and what I think is important, AI in terms of optimization is not there. They don't have the searches, the volume is not there. But AI in every other form and the part that is used by spammers is definitely one of the things that is a threat to today's SEO, to iGaming volumes, traffic, etc., etc. And these attacks that are becoming more and more, it's just a reality. It's where we live. And it's not just our niche. Our niche is a bit heavier, but I've seen it in every geo, in every niche. It's just everywhere. And it's just history repeating itself. So if you've been in SEO long enough, you know that not the same thing because there was no AI and scale, but Black Hat is just running circles and history is repeating itself.
What is the worst thing from all this spam that you think it's like the one that is killing our SERPs?
Well, first there's a part of a blame on the iGaming niche where we did it all ourselves. So there are many people who scaled AI content to the max, and even though Google officially said that they don't have a problem with AI content, they do have a problem with AI at scale. And Mount AI has happened to many websites and many affiliates. So I would say that the first trigger was there. Second is spammy links, and third, DMCA. Each one of them has some weight, and it really depends on the size and authority of your brand, and if you're an affiliate or an operator. The stronger your authority is, and the stronger your offsite is, the more you can repel these things. The newer you are, the smaller you are, the more vulnerable you are. But the silver lining here, and maybe a good part, is if you're smaller, you're less likely to be attacked. If you're a bigger brand, there are multiple people coming for you.
It's very true. So let's take them one by one. First of all, the AI content automation. I mean, we all done it. 2014 was like, or 2013, 14 was like wild, wild west. Let's all try it. And yes, Google doesn't have problem with it, but the problem with all the AI content is that it doesn't add anything new. People just use ChatGPT to ask for data, content, and a little bit change it or not at all and upload it. And Google finds it like, well, I have got all these 1,000 pages to index and go through them. So yes, you see the increase in your traffic, of course, logically. And then Google starts to look at it like, compared to this result, it's not adding any value compared to this result. And all of these other results that are known to be the quality on a web, this is actually claiming something else that is probably a mistake. So I think that's where it comes, and people don't understand that this is the wrong thing to do. Use AI, but not this way. For me, it's always when I see this, this very typical site, I know what they've done. For me, it's very laughable. What would you recommend people do here? I mean, we're still gonna use AI. We're still gonna try to make our life easier and content cheaper. That's what we try. So, what would be your recommendation as an expert? You need to do this move, but not this drop immediately.
Yeah, so I come from offsite and I'm always naturally a bit paranoid. So my rule is if it's too easy to execute, don't do it. It's for everything. It's not just AI, any type of, if there is a tool that's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. If something is too cheap to be done, it's not going to be good. So I see Google as a business, and AI has been here for over 50 years now. And I feel like Google knows more. Of course, they know more and that they have predictions and they know what's going to be rolled out and what's going to happen. So I feel looking back in time now that EAT was actually a way where they saw that there will be a point in time where AI will start feeding AI. So the machine will not be able to train. So they kind of pushed us towards real authors, having author bios, confirming people who are providing this information, making sure that there's a lot of information, true information, validated information, and information at scale. So I feel like we were just pushed towards what Google needs. And I think that instead of thinking on should we use AI or should we not, yes, we should. We should be smart about it and think about risks in the future and thinking about future more than what we're doing now. But seeing Google as a business and understanding where their profits are and how are they going to optimize for their users, because they don't really care about us. They have a really great PR. They're not an evil company. They're a mega corporation and they're optimizing for their stakeholders and their profits. So if we understand where their needs are going to be and optimize our tactics according to them, I think that we are safe. So yeah, I don't have answers such as don't use AI, use AI, use it every step of the way, as long as you're still providing quality. Because as long as you are providing quality to your end user and Google is happy with what the end user is getting, they are spending more time on Google, they're spending more time on the web, they're coming back to the search, the ad revenue is going up. As long as Google is happy, it's a win-win deal. So we need to think about not just rankings, but also what's the next step? What the problem is for Google? Seeing their predictions, their value, where they're losing value, where they're going to push. These are the answers for me.
Okay. So be smart when using AI. Nothing changed there, but people still don't hear it. People still don't hear it. People still think they can just create AI content. As well, for me, when we are in a content and AI, for me, the big problem is that you are able to steal someone's website very easily, especially if they are using templates. AI is able to scrape it, clone your website, and just either outrank you on your own terms or use it to DMCA you, saying, "Oh, look, I have this and my domain is old because I bought a domain and I am being a horrible person." But yeah, I don't like AI for this. And it's very little we can do to protect ourselves. I mean, we are doing everything we can, but do you have any ideas what to do here? I mean, I'm putting a little bit on a spot, but just any ideas how to protect from scraping? Any ideas what you would recommend to do to protect what you created if it is good?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of something that's not offsite SEO because I really don't want to sell offsite SEO here. But having authority and having a brand that has backlinks, authority, press coverage, digital PR, being present in media, being present with sponsorships and things that you are doing. So LinkedIn posts that are valued by the community, having YouTube channel, having presence at conferences. All of these things are help you build up authority, and authority that even if somebody scrapes and replicates your website still has more authority and you're going to outrank them. So for a long game, building authority in every way possible is the thing that repels everything else. So as long as you have the authority, nobody else can attack you on a scale where if it was new website versus new website. Yeah, that's the main thing I think here.
Love the authority. I think it is an answer even to Google. We see that Google loves authority. That's why we're seeing job domains ranking or parasite SEO flourishing in last year and this year because it's all about authority. And this brings us to other part that you mentioned is the link attached to UGCs and how horrible it is. Again, the answer is going to be authority here. However, do you have any practical tips how to work with UGCs to make them work for you? How to spot the abuse, how to clean up the abuse, all of the UGC beauty. I looked into it deeply, and you know, the
Yeah,
video on UGCs was very popular because I think it is one of the things we suffer a lot in this industry.
Yeah, I think that platforms are going to clean it up because I've seen also in February we had the Google update in regards to Google Discover, where many websites were doing precisely this with creating content, stealing content, and things that you mentioned before, and they kind of tanked. I also saw some predictions on, for example, Trustpilot has been used a lot for parasite content, and I saw some drops there, and I saw some potential for this being fixed by Google. So also parasite SEO in that regard can be a bit riskier investment at this point in that regard. In terms of Reddit, they're stepping up their game. There's a lot of profiles being deleted, and I've seen some movements. I'm not sure if this is live already, but I saw that they're pushing towards identifying real users and making sure that it's not bot traffic and bot comments, etc., but real people. So if you're into Black Hat and doing this to boost your rankings instead of attacking somebody else, I think that this can be a very short-term tactic with user-generated content, reviews, etc. For attacks, yeah, authority, and then just wait it out, because I think this year or next year we can expect both Reddit, Trustpilot, and Google really stepping up their game.
Really good, but you are spot on Reddit. I gave up on Reddit because everything gets removed, even if it's real. You just get removed. They are very, very sensitive. We know that around 50% of Reddit is by now AI, so they are trying to clean up. Let's see once they clean up how much traffic they have left after, actually. But you are very strong on links, so I'm going to ask you more here. Because links are still something that everybody's doing differently. And I work with lots of clients, and one client would like, I love this link. Another client would write me like, oh, this link is so spammy. Everybody has got a different opinion. What's the link? So what makes a good link for you? How do you go about? I mean, a lot of people are just like, oh, I need to do this, traffic this. They don't really check if it's manipulated. A lot of people don't care about any of this. They just look at the content if it's real. So what is it for you that makes a link you would actually think this is worthy of having linked to my website?
Okay. I do look at DR and traffic as everybody else who is in the backlinks. I've never used Moz. I don't understand how the whole algorithm works, but I will not say that it's bad. It's just that I prefer Ahrefs myself. I do look at these things. I look at IP addresses to try to understand if the website is a part of a PBN network. But one thing that I would say is a very useful tip that people in many cases overlook is we don't need to engineer SERPs. We need to understand the intent and what Google wants to rank. So the easiest way to start, if you got hired today or if you got a new project, is to check your main keywords that you want to rank for, your money pages, and then go and see what's already ranking. And you will find the answer, because it's not really about what I think is a good link, it's what Google thinks is a good link. So go see what's already ranking on the page one, number 1 to 3 positions, see which links they get, and start from there. Once you have those, then you start linking PR links, digital PR links, and links from relevant domains in your niche. And we all know that in our niche, it's kind of hard getting really relevant links. So start with what's already ranking and then add links that are in our niche, either from experts such as yourself or from some conference websites or anything that is really sportsbook related. It's much easier, of course, than casino, where it's really tricky with relevant links.
It's difficult to build good links because there's just so many links that would give us a placement. And there's lots of valuable links that would give us a placement. Nobody wants them, of course. How do you stand on PBNs? Because there are places where PBNs simply are working, like New Zealand or Finland used to be huge on PBNs, or Norway. Would you consider those in these markets as a possibly good link if the PBN is done properly?
PBNs are a website in the end, so we put a lot of this PBN stigma on it. It is a website in the end. For me, it is more about uniqueness, because when you get a first link from a certain PBN, the uniqueness and this first vote of confidence is what gives you the most value. So for me, I would start with how many domains do I have if I was to build a PBN network, and how many links I can put there. Am I trying to earn money? Because you can also buy H domain or a bunch of them, create PBN network, and then also add it to a link building marketplace and then earn money there. So there's multiple ways how to work with PBNs. But yeah, I don't like repeated links. I don't like having PBN networks for it makes more sense if you're a marketing agency than if you're somebody who is trying to build their own reputation. Or if you have a lot of money to buy a super good H domain, I wouldn't even consider it a PBN, because for me, PBN is very typical website. You can spot it, you see it, and you know it's PBN.
You know exactly how they look and how they behave. You see the same design, same favicon, same 3 pages about us, contact, and the main page where they link. My problem with PBNs is if they are built for our niche, they become really just a place to sell links, and everybody has got a link from it. And how much value does it have? I would rather pay for an original link where nobody has or very little people than PBN.
Yeah.
But then lots of people are like, oh, that's too expensive. We'd rather have 10 links of a shitty quality. So I think it's to everyone's taste.
It is definitely quality over quantity. If you do a test with super strong, I'm talking DR 80 plus links, and do that versus, let's say, 50 relatively good websites, this one that has higher DR and higher traffic that's in millions, you're instantly going to see the movement. There's no question that one good link is better than a bunch of smaller ones. So for me, there's no question there.
How do you stand on non-follow links? Because I don't think non-follow links should be dismissed as much as we dismiss them. They still pass value. They still do something for you, especially if you're going for brand. But a lot of people just have this idea, just it has to be only follow. And then your link profile looks like everybody is giving you follow link on your money keywords. It's not natural.
It also depends on your brand, because if you have a huge brand, everybody's not everybody, but you have a healthy mix of branded, do follow, no follow. If you have a small brand, nobody, and in casino niche, of course, nobody's going to give you links. So you're not going to have a natural profile, because your profile is 100% made by you. So in this case, you need to think in that way. I am biased. I do believe that no follow links do bring some value, especially now with LLMs and everything that is happening. But as somebody who started 10 years ago, when it was very clear which links do bring value and which do not, personally, I still prefer do follow links. They give me more confidence. I believe in this past value more. That being said, if there's a no follow link from Forbes, yeah, go for it.
Right. So I think it depends as well on a price. I think if the link is non-follow and it's cheap, but on a good website, then it's a good investment. If it's 10,000 euro, of course, I'm not going to buy it. Like I think it really depends on what you get out of it versus the price.
It is also dependent on I have two more metrics that I'm looking into: referral traffic that it would give me, which it's not just as in passing traffic as parasite SEO, but also understanding how relevant this link is. Because if it gets published on a website where actual people who are interested in my niche are, that's a big plus. And then the authority of the website. So if the website is super, super big and would pass a lot of authority, then that would be a big plus for a no-follow link, even for a brand mention.
Fantastic. And when you are making when you create your anchor type, how do you go for like branded versus no branded? Do you have some winning formula for big brand versus starting up brand, for little small affiliate brand? What is that?
This needs to be done for every market that you're working in. And it is, once again, Google already gave us the answer. So look what's already ranking. Top 10 competitors that are ranking on page one, export their anchor profile, and then you can use AI scripts or automations to sort them in branded, non-branded, naked, exact match, partial match, long-term, etc., etc. And then you understand what is safe in your niche and in your market, and then you start from there. Because what Google is already ranking, it's considered safe, especially this is super important for regulated markets where, for example, iGaming marketing is not allowed. You need to understand how the market moves, what is accepted, what is not accepted, because let's presume that everybody listening to this wants to stay on the good side of the law.
Okay, okay, that's nice. And now the last part, when we are talking about the good side of the law, it's fake DMCA takedowns and real DMCA takedowns. That is biggest issue we're facing right now. It is coming left and right. It is taking small affiliates, huge affiliates, brands, operators, everyone. Everyone is attacking everyone. There is no gentleman code anymore. Yeah,
It is, I believe that it is at some point brands that were attacked now started attacking everybody else in the SERPs because we don't know who attacked us. So, or not us, but whoever. And then it's like, oh, somebody attacked me, let me attack everybody. So it's multiplying, and it's creating a mega monster. And the worst thing is that people don't even know that it's happening because you don't get a notification always. You don't get a notification the exact second that it happens. So it's a wild, wild west.
absolutely. You can go to Lumen database, you can look through the data, but it doesn't give you everything. You are a little bit flying blind. You are testing what's indexed, what's delisted, and you're just thinking like, is this DMCA? Or actually, am I picking penalty? It's horrible. And I blame Google. I personally blame Google because they are allowing all this automation. There's no human behind it. Things pass through even though they shouldn't. Things don't pass through even though they should. Like you submit DMCA for a real problem and it just nothing happens because Google automation doesn't understand that there is a problem, even if I don't know if you ever submitted, but you need to describe everything to a detail. So what's the solution to this? Is this going to dry up? Are people going to get just tired one day and think, okay, let's do something else? Or does Google need to step in and say, we're not taking part in this anymore. We're not going to be delisting you no matter how much you send. What's the solution?
Yes, so I think this is connected to a law in the US. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a lawyer, so I cannot give any legal advice, but I think I might be completely wrong, but maybe Clinton. I'm not sure, but one
Yes, Bill
of
Clinton,
the
DMC,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah. So it was made with a really great idea, love it, but it really backfired because it was not executed according to what's happening, or it just needs update in today's time. Um, this is how to fix it. Monitor. You need to monitor and understand what's happening because, as I said, you're not going to get a notification every time. You might get it one day late, you might get it 2 days late. And if you have a high value money keyword ranking on the page one, if you get removed from the index, that's a big problem if you get notification 2 days after. So monitoring is definitely one of the things. And second thing, copyright. You need to copyright your pages, you need to think in advance, and you need to protect especially event pages, because this is when I personally believe if somebody is creating an attack towards you, this is when it makes sense, when this is where it would hurt the most. So these would be the pages that I would really think about protecting for big events, big matches, etc., etc. This is where I would put my money at.
I think we should be a little bit more proactive because for now, it's reactive. It's like, oh, I got these DMCAs. What do I do? You do counter notice and then you wait, and it's 2 and more weeks by now because there's so much of it. And
Yeah.
by now, when I submit the counter notice, I get a notification that we are getting too many of it. So this will then be present, and we will let you know only if there is a valid reason. Like it's taking longer and longer. It's as you said, if your main money page, if 5 of them are down for 2 weeks, and then you restore, and then you get another DMCA, because it doesn't mean you're not going to get another one. It can really destroy your earnings. It is really, really nasty. And I don't know what would have to change because we need DMCA. We need our work to protect it. Our digital work needs to be protected. And I'm sure when Bill Clinton was signing this, he didn't think like, oh, there's going to be a blackhead SEO somewhere in iGaming from Hitler's hole using this to take other websites down. Of course he didn't. I didn't think of it. And I'm in SEO for 16 years and it would never cross my mind to use this to hurt someone. But I'm simply not a terrorist anymore. So I don't know how it would have to change. I don't know if Google needs to step up. I would say models would be the way. If everybody would just like try to do better SEO rather than attacking each other, that would be great. But that's not happening. Let's be honest. We're not going to suddenly become all nice people. DMCAs, please go away. That's what I would like to say. But all of these things, the AI content, the UGCs and DMC, is there anything else you would like to say? Who's spamming our SERPs and why our SERPs look like a bloody dumpsters?
It's just easy to do it, and people tend to do easy things. And that's the real answer, because we have AI feeding AI and we have people leveraging this because it's just cheap to do. I am hopeful though, because I don't think that AI is going to be cheap to use forever. I think that this compute power that is being used for this will become a bit more expensive. I do see Google making some movements with different cleanups and spam updates, not because they want to help us precisely, but they do want to keep search clean. So I am optimistic. I think that it all comes down to what we're doing. We need to look at our backyard first, and then let the others handle theirs. And yeah, everything that is super easy, it's going to fail, and who plays the long-term game is going to win.
I really hope you're right. Thank you very much for joining me and
No
sharing your
problem.
optimism, which is really beautiful. Most people don't have that these days, and all your knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you got value from this video and want direct access to us, weekly calls, training, and the latest SEO updates, and a community of people operating at this level, click the link in the description to join the Boardroom. We'll see you inside.